So I was planning on not making this video because, all the hate I was going to get from the soccer watchers, soccer fans, soccer players, whatever. But now I don't care. I'm going to speak my mind, alright? So let me start off by saying that soccer sucks. It's probably the worst sport ever created. The worst sport to ever exist, Like who actually sits down there, watches that, like, for 90 minutes, I think. Yeah, 90 minutes, sit down there watching somebody kick a ball for 90 minutes. What type of nonsense is that? We're going to call it soccer. We're going to call it soccer. We're not going to call it football because we're not going to disrespect American football like that. Call it soccer. Call it what it is. Don't put some respect on American football name. Think this is like what? And these soccer fans acting like, oh, this sport is so hard. Yeah, getting a little feminine haircut, and dressing up real pretty for a game proves that your sport is hard. Put me in any professional soccer league. I guarantee, with no training, no prior training or anything, no prior training, nothing. Put me in professional soccer league, and I'm scoring at least one goal per game. Guaranteed. The sport's not that hard. Like, get that out of your head. You're like, just because it's the most, like, and this is another argument, the weakest argument probably ever used. Just because it's the most played and most popular sport in the world doesn't mean anything. I'm gonna tell you why. Cardi B has a lot of fans. Does that make her good? Okay then. We all know how Cardi B's skill is. All right. Like, okay. That just because your sport is most played, most famous, means nothing. And you guys probably have the worst fans too. That makes your sport even worse. You guys are crying over a game where you kick a ball around, killing people. Like, what? Acting like little kids. Actually, little kids don't even act like that. Rioting because your team lost. Wow. What? Like, aren't you guys supposed to be adults? I'm a little thirsty. Got a nice sip of my iced tea. Matter of fact, I would pay to watch an iced tea drinking contest before I'd ever pay for a soccer game. Go to a soccer match. Go, what? And you guys crying over jerseys? What do you guys call them, kits? You guys crying over jerseys and all that? Like, what type of nonsense is that? You guys taking a sport that serious? You guys literally live and breathe the sport. Like, get a life. Like, go find a new hobby. And not to mention, your sport has the biggest floppers in the world. The softest people I've ever seen. LeBron wasn't even flopping that much when he was in Miami. Marcus Smart didn't even flop that hard. And you guys know what flop I'm talking about. Like, I don't get it. You guys are soft. I forgot. The first soccer game I've ever watched in full was I think it was Argentina versus Germany. Yeah, in the World Cup. And the stupid Germans, they kept pretending that they were hurt and stuff like that. Like, you're a grown man. What in the world? You guys had to fake injuries because you guys couldn't win any other way, or you were actually that soft? You broke a record for the most medical attention in the history of the World Cup or something like that. Grown men. You guys are talking about this sport is hard. They walk around for 90% of the time. Ugh, like, wow. That's hard. That's definitely hard. You're kicking a ball into a huge goal. Oh, wow. That's pretty hard. Oh. Look at rugby players. Look at rugby kickers. Look at NFL kickers. Look at any American. I'm just gonna say football. Forget the American part. Just football. Look at any football kicker, any rugby kicker. You see what they're doing? They don't need a huge goal for that. The goalpost is tiny for football. The goalpost is tiny. It's even smaller for rugby. What are you talking about? Your sport is easy, and for football, it's even harder than soccer because you have a whole bunch of men on the other side. 11 men rushing over to block you from kicking, and you have to line up 15 yards away from where you're originally supposed to kick the ball from where the line of scrimmage is. That's where the ball starts at. Like, bro. And it's another person that you have to depend on to kick the ball. And if he messes it up, you're done. Soccer is easy. Don't ever come to me talking about soccer's the best sport in the world. No, soccer's terrible. And if you like soccer, you're pretty stupid. I'm sorry to tell you. Actually, I'm not sorry to tell you. You're extremely stupid. Like, go get your head checked out if you actually like that garbage sport and you ever support it. Don't come to me on some nonsense talking about, oh, soccer's amazing. It's the greatest sport ever created. You Americans will shut up, please. Come with that same nonsense. And watch the Courtney soccer kids with the comb overs trying to talk trash in the comments. No, shut up. Terrible. Garbage sport. Man, I'm out. This is trash.